Hello everyone, welcome to this vlog. This is the first outing we had in Ghana, and yes, we went to Accra Zoo. Okay, so this is us leaving the hotel. We're wearing blue today, and this is the entrance to the Accra Zoo. Alright, so this is me showing you around, showing you everywhere. There are trees, lots of trees. The zoo is located in Achimota Forest, and we saw lots of trees. We passed prayer camps before we got there, and yes, this is what it looks like around. It's so beautiful. The scenery was so beautiful and breathtaking. So this is inside the zoo. This is the front side. This is the beginning of the whole walk. And then right here we're entering into the office or the part to pay for our tickets. Yes, so we're here to pay for our tickets, and oh my gosh, this place is so pretty. This is what it looks like all around. And yes, we loved the sight of the fishes. We started looking at the fishes. We took pictures by the aquarium, and yeah, more pictures by the aquarium. Okay, so right here we're waiting for Nakiat. Nakiat's here. We've got Nakiat, and now the tour started. Alright, let's go. So the first animal we saw was a monkey. Yeah. So this is what the monkey looks like. They told us that the monkey was here before they came here to establish the zoo. So the monkeys were all around, living freely, living in the wild, and yes, they also came close to humans. Alright. So we're moving on to the next animal. Here we saw another type of monkey. It's called the white-caped monkey, and yes, this is what the monkey looks like. Yeah, see the baby one over there. We're back on the track, and we're heading to the next stop. It's also another type of monkey. They had lots of monkeys in the zoo, and I think it's because the monkeys were the first animals that were literally living here, so they had lots of them. We love the monkeys. So here we can see the geese. Yeah, they're white, brown Chinese, and Emden geese. They were so pretty, they were white, they clean, they had webbed feet, and we really liked looking at them. More pictures on what the geese looked like, and now we're back on the road. You can see the amount of trees in this area. It was so frightening because momentarily we would see the grass shaking, meaning there was something. We would see the grass moving, meaning there was something in the grass, and then we'd be like, oops. We're looking at the black marsh terrapin, and yes, we had to climb to look into its habitat. It was so nice, it was so beautiful. The water was a bit dirty, but I think it's just because of the environment the animal used to live in before it was put in the enclosures. Alright, so that's bye from the terrapin, and now we're back on the road. Here, Chaka is discussing with Nakiat, and Nakiat's sister is running. The walk between the enclosures were a bit far apart, but not too far. We're not far apart, but for safety reasons, yes, some animals were kept farther from the other ones because they were like the predators of those animals. Here, Matisha is holding Nakia's sister's arm, and yes, they are working hand in hand to the next enclosure. Can you guess what we're going to see here? Ostriches! Yeah! actually as excited as I am. Okay, so she warned us not to use our flashlights because ostriches were attracted and would get offended. So we're also glad we didn't wear the color red because that might have also infuriated the ostrich. The ostriches are the largest land birds and they cannot fly. Okay, so here we saw a zebra. This was my first time seeing a zebra in my life and I really loved it. I felt like Naja Wild had come to life. Yes, so we're looking at the zebra here. It was so beautiful. It's only one they have. This is a picture of the salt lake. So the salt lake is for the zebra to get minerals and nutrients from it. So the zebra licks it until it's finished. We're back on the road, and yes, more and more trees. Oh my gosh, more and more trees. I was seriously scared. I was always looking over my shoulder to make sure that nothing was following me because I didn't want to see a monkey jump out of nowhere and attack me or something. Okay, so we're back on the road. We're looking around, pointing at different things, having fun, chatting. And now we're looking at lions. Roar! Oh my gosh, these were white lions and they were so beautiful. Like, I have particularly not seen any animal that is more beautiful than these white lions. And they were so calm, they were so peaceful, they were so unbothered by our distractions and our noises. And now we're going to see another type of lion. Can you see it looks very very tiny because of the barbed wires. So someone had tried to jump in before and so they had to create another fence so that people don't get the chance to jump in again. So if you look closely you can see the lions. We tried as much as we could to get clear footage of the lions, but the barb and the fence won't allow us. So that was the best we could take of the lions, and now we're on to the next animal. Alright, so there's an antelope over there. If you look closely you see it. Let me move up, let me move a little. Yeah, can you see it? It's there between the grasses and the shrubs. Yeah, it's also lying down over there, and ooh, I got a good shot of it. So that was the antelope that we saw. Very shy one, was hiding. So we had to wait for him to get courageous and come out. But now we're looking at something different. We're looking at warthogs. And I couldn't just help but remember Pumbaa and Timon. So yes, we saw warthogs. There's this one and then there's a second one. We saw warthogs and we really liked it. It was such a good experience because we could relate with the Lion King when we saw the warthogs. Alright, so over here we're looking at another animal. We're looking at a tortoise. So they had two over here, and yeah, we were fascinated by the tortoise. Over here we're looking at another animal. Alright, so we're going to turn around. There were so many animals at the same place, so we were just like looking from this fence to the other. This is the Maxwell's Durker, and yeah, this is what the animal looks like. That's another tortoise. This one's a bully, so they put him on his own. Yes, they removed him from the others because he would always take the food and turn all the other tortoises around over their backs, and then he would eat the food. So now we're looking at donkeys. Yay! Donkeys. If you've been following my channel, you'll see one of my videos where my children went to visit the donkeys, and now we're seeing another one. And they told us that the mark on the donkey's neck, They believed it's a cross kind of symbol. They believed that it has to do with Jesus riding the donkey, and that was very fascinating. So here we are at the aviary. We saw a peacock, we saw a parrot, we saw many birds, and they were all beautiful in different colors. It was so nice to see birds free but still caged somehow, but they were still free. And seeing a peacock up so close was so nice, and it's an experience I'm not going to forget. Alright, so we spent a lot of time at the aviary just looking at each bird, learning about each bird, learning different facts and experiences and different histories about the different birds and how they got into the zoo. And from here, you can't guess what we saw next, can you? Let's see. So we're back on the road, we're back on the trail, we're still exploring the Accra Zoo, and we're learning about life, we're learning about life on land. Okay, so this is more footage from the donkeys. And over here, we're going to visit. Oh, the first time we saw it, we thought it was a wolf, but actually not. It's a jackal. Yeah, and it was so nice to see a jackal in real life. And here we have a porcupine. This is my first time seeing a porcupine, and we didn't want to go close because we thought it was going to shoot its quills at us. But the guide told us that porcupines don't actually shoot their quills. And that was so fascinating because all our lives we always thought that porcupines shoot their quills. Alright, so we spent some time watching the porcupine. I don't think any of us had ever seen a porcupine before. So it was so fascinating. We just loved to look at it. It's called a crested porcupine. And now we are going to visit the Nile crocodile. Woo! Alright, so the crocodile didn't actually come out. We just like saw part of its head, and then the bubbles from the water. It didn't like really come up, so we didn't see its tail or its belly or its stomach. We just saw its head, and then bubbles in the water. Alright, so I waited for my turn before I could take a video of the crocodile, and there it is. You can't really see it, but you can see most of its head. Yes, because it's covered in the water. You can see just a bit of its head. Alright, so we're back on the trail, and here we have the emu. Yeah, the emu is just opposite the Nile crocodile. And here is the emu. They're from Australia. And she told us that if you call a lady an emu in Australia, that you could get arrested. Do you want to know why? You can research that on your own. That's homework. Alright, so we're also very happy that we saw such large ant hills, and we imagined how long it took the ants to build these ant hills. They were so solid, and for no reason at all, I remembered Ant Hills of the Savannah. I do not have the book yet, but I know I'm going to purchase it very soon. Alright, so we're slowly coming to the end of this tour, and I hope you've been enjoying it. This is another part that has the peacock and other birds in it. We looked at this before we went to the next. More videos on the peacock. I couldn't get enough of it. I really was hoping it would like spread its feathers. That's why I kept videoing it, but it didn't. It was so annoying. I felt like going on my knees to beg it. So here we had the hawk. Yeah, it's on its own that it's just there. But next to it, in the little box, there's a little tortoise over there. It's a baby one. I have a picture of it somewhere in the gallery. Yes, it's the baby tortoise. It was there, and we really liked it. It was nice to see it tiny. So here we're looking at snakes. Slithery snakes. Yes, you can see it curled up there. So those, yeah, this is the tortoise I was talking about. It's so tiny. I feel like it was just like a fist, like the size of a fist. We're looking at the snakes. The other one in the last cage isn't poisonous, and she said you could take it around your neck and take pictures. But the other one in the second cage could kill in seconds. It could kill very, very fast because it was very, very poisonous. And we were like so scared, so we shifted. Yes, the snakes were camouflaging because they were about the same color as the dried leaves, so you can't really see them clearly. We couldn't really see them clearly. They're wrapped in the stalks of wood. They are wrapped in the tree trunks and in the leaves. Yes, but if you look very, very closely, you can see them hanging from the wood in the cage. Yeah, so we're all fascinated by the snakes. We spent quite a while at the snakes, learning about them and everything. And she said they don't need to be fed often because the digestive system is very slow. And so, yeah, this is a picture. The first one we took with the guide. Yeah, and this is us leaving the Accra Zoo. Yes, it was already getting to sunset, and so we had to see Nakiat off before heading to our hotel. Alright, so this is us leaving the Accra Zoo, and we're heading for Nakiat's car to see what she brought to show us and inspire us. Okay, so this is Nakiat showing us her medals and her trophies so that we could get inspired and also work harder to achieve such heights and even greater ones. So she spoke to us. I'm going to allow the audio play so that you can listen to.
No, the thing is, so I was doing my math, and then at a point I'm stuck, and then the shocking thing about it is learning might not be the best thing to do right now. Trust me, it's not easy to sit by a book and open your eyes. But look, the only way through is learning. Becoming that big business tycoon, making your mom proud. You know how much she's suffering. All the clothes she buys for you, all the food she feeds you with. Not only your mom, your parents, everyone around you. Because you know the load it carries for someone in your family to be like, oh, my brother is the owner of this huge oil and gas company. My sister is a lawyer. My cousin is a doctor who performed the first successful surgery in this country. My sister did this, my brother did this, my cousin did this, my auntie did this, and your children will also be proud of you because you serve as the best role models with all of them. So it starts from here and ends with you forever. You know, they are living legends, and those people did not get it easy. Don't think Ronaldo did not have school. He had education, and now the best way to acquire education is by going to school, getting those A's, and owning them. So all I'll tell you to do is learn, because it's the key. It's not easy, so I don't expect you to chew your whole syllabus into your head. Baby steps, you get there. I also did not like it, but then it hits me when I got to know that I'm in J1, and very soon there's a big test we take in Ghana. It's called BEC. I don't know if you take it in Nigeria too.
Yes.
You do?
Yes.
Well, you know, it's very anticipated, and it's scary when they're saying, and like when you go to examination, oh, this invigilator will be there keeping an eagle eye on you, and then it's so scary and all. When you get there, it will hit you, and you'll be sorry if you do not learn from day one, because everything you do when you're moving on works with foundation. If you are learning algebra in Form 3 and you not learn algebra in class 4, it's course 90, because there are some things you have to refer to from the beginning. So then you have to learn everything with Pepper's excellence and passion, and also vision, because you know where you're heading. You're not heading to a truck pusher. No, you're heading to that business side.
During Nakia's and theirs, we had to say goodbye to her. We didn't want the day to end, but her home is about like a 3 hour drive from the zoo, and ours too was a long drive from the zoo. So we had to start heading home. This was the last footage we took of the zoo. It had closed and everyone had gone, but still we liked listening to the sound of the birds and everything. And while we waited for our ride, I decided to take these few pictures of fossils that we saw, and this is us still waiting for our ride outside at the benches. And yeah, that was our day at the zoo. We were just arriving back home at our hotel, and yeah, all tired and hungry. We're ready to munch on some good food. We were having Ghana jollof this day, and yes, so we couldn't wait for Ghana jollof. All right, bye, and see you in the next vlog.